Greetings, welcome back. We're going to play Brown Eyed Girl by Van Morrison, and we'll do the little intro with thirds. There's a root and a third note. They harmonize really well together. You hear it in a lot of songs and intros and in fills here and there. So I want to introduce thirds to you in this song so you can play this song as long as this nice intro. And then in the next lesson, we're going to go into a whole system, which is not that complicated, which will teach you how to play thirds throughout the fretboard in any key. It's really cool. So with that said, why don't we start with the lesson for this particular song, and I'll switch to a different camera now. So what you want to do is the first half of the intro will be just on the D and the B string, right? Just the D and the B string. So what you want to do is put your index finger on the 8th fret of the B string and your ring finger on the 9th fret of the G string, and just pluck the two. You can pluck them separately if you can't. If you can't really. What I'm doing here is I'm using the pick for the D, and I'm using my middle finger to pull on the B. So it's. Let me show you a better angle here. So I'm really doing this. I'm doing the pick on the G, on the D, a pick on the D, and my middle finger to pull up on the B string. But if you can't do that, you can do it separately. You can pick it like that, but you should learn to practice this sort of, that kind of picking. So really what this is all about is he's essentially going from these two positions, as I said earlier, the 8th on the B and the 9th on the D, and then go up to the 10th fret with both strings. I use my pinkies, you can use any strings you want. And then slide up to the 12th. And really what he's getting that from, we'll go into more theory and how this works in the next lesson, but he's really taking parts of the G chord that's here. This is the D shape, or some people call it the C shape, but it's basically the D shape plus one more string. He's just taking those two notes from there. And then he's going from a D to an A minor. Like the D minor down here. I have an extra finger here. I'm putting an extra finger in here. This is the D. But if you put your fingers a little bit differently, you can pick up another note, F on the D string. If you slide it up to here, it's the A, and then A minor, and then B minor. So really, he's just picking two notes from that. He's got the. So there's the. This is the G, and then he's got these two notes from the A minor, and then from the B minor. It's just pieces, but we'll go through that in more detail in terms of how that works and how you can play thirds all over the fretboard. And then he switches from those two strings to the G, the same frets to the G. Well, that's nice, makes it a little bit easier too, right? Same frets, but now the G and the E string does the same thing. So you got your index finger on this fret here, the 8th, and the middle finger on the 9th, and then go up to the 10th, 12th, back to 10. So that's the whole intro. And then, so here I'm covering up the G and the B string at the 7th fret, and then hit the 8th fret on the B string, slide up to the 10th, and then back. And then he starts the song. And the whole song, I would recommend you look at Chordify to really follow the chords. But really, it's a 1-4-5. So it's in the key of G. So it's G, A, B, C is 4, and 5 is D. So it's G, C, D. That's the whole song. There's a little E minor in there in one place, which you could play or just play a note from it, but the idea is it's just G. Hey, where do we go? Days when the rain down in the hollow, playing a new game. And the verse just repeats until he gets to the part where he says, skipping and a jump. Laughing and a running. Skipping and jumping in the misty morning fog, our hearts are thumping. He goes, goes right to the D and then to the C. You, my brown-eyed girl. Now instead of playing the G, you could just play the actual tune. It's G, A, G, G, A, G, F sharp, 4th fret on the D string, and then the 2nd fret on the D string, and then the 2nd fret on the A string. When you get to the E here, you could play E minor. Then it goes back to C. You, my brown-eyed girl. And then there's that little part where he goes, do you remember when? That's all D. Do you remember when we used to sing? Right, so rather than try to follow chords here, I would recommend that you go to, let's see, go to Spotify. Let me bring up a different view here. Go to, not Spotify, go to Chordify. I listen to a lot of Spotify. Go to Chordify. And I like this version, Brown Eyed Girl, by Finstadt and Golton. Not the original by Van Morrison. I think it's better to play with this particular rendition. I like it better at any rate. And there's a piece in the end, there's a piece towards the end that there's a break with a piano, and you could play some, you can play a little, G pentatonic. You can play a little G pentatonic and noodle around if you want. So I kind of like this version. So that said, use Chordify to follow chords. If you didn't follow my chords, you kind of have an understanding of how to do the introduction now. And in the next lesson, click here. In the near future, we'll have a next lesson that just explains how to play thirds all over the fretboard. It's actually a lot easier than you think, but you just have to understand the system. So that said, I think that's all we wanted to cover for today. And have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.